All right, let's bring him on. He is the voice of college football at our network. His name is Joel Klatt, Fox Sports. This weekend, by the way.
What's up, man?
You're doing Jim Harbaugh.
Again, yes.
Yeah, and you guys.
Iowa at Michigan.
Now, do you guys get along?
I don't know this week. We'll see.
You've been very well. I think you've been appropriately critical.
Sure. Yeah, and I think he's said a lot of the same things that I've said about their preparedness against Wisconsin, where they were struggling, in particular the offensive line. The philosophical change to this offense was not taking hold. You know, everyone's like, well, it got better last week. It was Rutgers. So, you know, forgive me if I'm going to wait until this week when they face Iowa's defense to see if this offense is actually turning a corner.
Now, I have said this about Michigan. Cold weather football teams, to me, feel like they don't have the advantages in high school personnel like warm weather teams. But that said, this is the best Notre Dame team I've seen in years. Mm-hmm. It may be the best Wisconsin team I've seen ever.
Maybe ever, yeah.
This is the best Washington football program in 25 years. Penn State's now big boy football. So, you know, I tend to support Harbaugh and the cold weather teams. The universities are sort of elite universities and blah, 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 blah. A lot of cold weather teams are doing great. This is on Jim and the coordinator he hired reportedly without an interview.
Yeah, in person.
No
interview.
in-person interview.
That's correct. So we'll see. So for me, a big thing, and I know this is in the weeds, but one of the things that Michigan was great at under Jim Harbaugh before this season was running the ball on first down, getting to advantageous second down, markers. I'm a big thing. When you're on schedule, when there's not pressure on your quarterback as far as getting, back into converting on third down or third and longs, obvious passing situations, your offense is going to be pretty efficient. Last year, they were over 5 yards per carry on first down. This year, they're barely at 4. That yard is a big difference. I know it's not you might be thinking like, what are you talking about? That's a big difference, in particular when you talk about just the philosophy and the pressure on the quarterback.
They're just not as physical as they've been. They look soft and finessey. By the way, here's Klatt's top 10. Yeah. Let me see where you got Clemson here, because
I've got Clemson at 6.
Okay,
Colin.
then you and I agree.
Yeah, and the reason is, and candidly, I think that's favorable because Wisconsin, Auburn, and Notre Dame at times have looked better than what Clemson has looked.
Oh, God, Auburn's looked better. Absolutely. That last
week was an incredible game for Auburn.
So you've got Ohio State, Bama, LSU, Oklahoma, Georgia, Clemson, Wisconsin, Texas, Notre Dame, Auburn. I don't disagree. I think you have Auburn low. Other than that, I totally agree.
The Auburn thing for me is like if you matched up the teams, okay, that's part of my basis, right? Like, okay, Texas and Auburn play this week. I think Texas might probably win that game. Maybe a toss-up. Notre Dame, Auburn, maybe toss-up. I would lean Notre Dame. So that's why I have them there. And at the end of the year, Colin, Auburn's going to have 3 losses.
Oh,
this is about the highest that they're going to get. Auburn's not going to be a factor in the SEC West.
All right, that's a big thing there. I want to talk to you about. So I'm going to admit this. I root for chaos. That's what I do. In my job, Joy and I have talked. I'm in the
You just sound like that was profound. Like, we all know that. We listen every day.
I root for tire fires in sports.
Right.
I just love them. You know what I mean? I want Cleveland to get blown out, win by 20.
No, you don't say.
Every weekend I want them to.
I'm sure.
Right. So
you just compared Baker to Johnny and Jameis Winston.
Listen,
go ahead.
If Andy Dalton got in a train and left the NFL tomorrow, I'd be fine. I'd rather have Lamar. Great, terrible. Great, terrible. I root for chaos. So I got to tell you, we're seeing something in the NFL I love. Is these college quarterbacks now are coming in the NFL. They're making the game way more fun.
Yeah,
Baltimore.
Like Baker.
Baker's one of them. Lamar's one of them. Daniel Jones is one of them. They're making the game more fun.
Yep.
The Giants were tired. Not anymore. Can't wait for Giant games.
Sure.
Arizona, turnstile. Not anymore. Joe Flacco, I'm over it. Lamar Jackson, I'm into it. Tyrod Taylor to Josh Allen. Turnstile to Baker Mayfield. Turnstile to Sam Darnold, who will play this week. I love this. And here's what's amazing. We're getting fewer and fewer boring teams. In the NFL now, even the rebuilding bad teams with young quarterbacks like Arizona.
Interesting.
Oh, they're fascinating.
Yeah.
Usually in sports, bad teams can't watch. Arizona is a fun watch.
By the way, you missed Mason Rudolph. How good did Mason Rudolph look?
Give me a break. It bored me to death. All right, let's get now. Now, here's the good news. I think we got 5 quarterbacks that are coming into this league. Tua's going to go number 1.
Maybe.
Justin Herbert. Jacob Eason. Big arm guy.
Jake Fromm.
Can I ask you this? We got Tua video. What do you make of Tua as a prospect? Is he Russell Wilson left-handed?
I think at his best, yes.
That's what I see.
He's not as sturdy as Russell. That's one thing that gets lost in the, hey, Russell Wilson's a small quarterback. Yeah, but he's thick. He's very sturdy. I don't know how sturdy Tua is in that respect, but I will tell you this thing. I think that there is a bottom line proposition to playing the position in the NFL. Do you get the ball on target and on time? Okay? It takes everything else out of the equation. On target and on time. He throws it on target and on time as well as anybody. I think Jalen Hurts is increasing his NFL stock.
You do.
I think a kid that LSU is going to face from Utah State, Jordan Love, is a guy that you got to – he's 6'4", 225 pounds. He's a legit NFL prospect. There's a lot of them out there.
It's amazing.
And it's exciting for the NFL, certainly. To this point, I grew up in Denver. How boring are the Denver Broncos? 0-4 with Joe Flacco.
It's brutal.
I mean, like, I talked to my dad, and he's like, oh, the Broncos. And I'm like, yeah, I know. It's painful.
And here's the thing. Joy and I talked about this. Every single team that has moved off their old guy, they're all happy today. Baltimore's happy. Arizona's happy.
Sure.
The Giants are happy. Every one of them that rolled the dice and said, we're going to move off Flacco. People are going to be offended. That was a great move. Oh, we're going to move off Eli. What's the press going to say? Great move. Everybody. That's why I say Cam Newton, Kyle Allen, watch out.
I will say, though.
Watch out.
Devil's advocate. Let me play devil's advocate for a moment.
All right.
Guess who else is excited about this move? Bill Belichick and Tom Brady.
Because they dominate.
Because when it comes down to it, right? Like when it gets into a divisional playoff game or an AFC championship game, are they going to want to see like are they going to want to see Lamar Jackson or are they going to want to see Ben Roethlisberger? They're going to want to see Lamar Jackson.
Well, all right. Let me see what else here I want to get to with you. Okay, so Michigan. I would probably take Iowa in the points against Michigan. You don't care about Fox Bet stuff. I do.
Yeah.
I think it's a close game.
I think it's a close game, and this is going to tell us, I believe that Saturday is the defining moment of the Harbaugh era.
Wow.
Think about it.
Do you think they win?
I don't know if they're going to win or not, but I will tell you, if they do, there's at least hope. If they don't,
they're in trouble. Even you and I can't defend them.
Correct.
It's hard to defend them.
100%. I think it's indefendable if they lose this weekend.
By the way, let's go back. What's that California pay the kid thing?
Yeah.
And here's the thing. If I was a high school...
Speaking of chaos, how about
if I was a kid...
segment.
If I was a kid in California with all 15 minutes from my house is a YouTube office.
Sure.
If I'm a kid and I can get paid for my likeness, the hell, why wouldn't you come to California?
Well,
it's crazy.
Again, it's going to look... interesting. The NCAA is going to do something. I think that there should be a centralized marketing department that has the Q score and marketing value for every player so that you can't just have some guy, hey, I'm going to give this kid $1 million to come to Arkansas. It's like, well, that kid doesn't deserve $1 million.
Hey, my name's Smokey.
Right. Smokey,
I own a Buick dealership in Fayetteville.
Not going to do it from Fayetteville. So I think if we had a centralized marketing department that had the Q scores, we have this all the time. Everybody knows what the free market principles are. Yeah. And if we can establish the value of every player in college football, and we can say that you can't get a deal that's over your market value.
You know what free market principles do for me?
I don't know. What do they do for you?
That's just being obnoxious.
I love chaos.
I do like chaos.
I know. But this interview was chaos.
Well, no, it was fairly... I thought today we agreed on a lot of stuff.
I know. It's a little disheartening.
Like 2 weeks in a row.
It is, Joy. And
what's your upset?
He does. We're not doing that anymore. That stupid thing.
What do you mean? That's like that was the best part of the segment, and you're just throwing it out.
The other day, I got mad driving home.
Why?
That you literally will take a field goal game and say they almost win. That's not a segment. I have allowed that for 2 years with you, and it's a ridiculous segment.
I have told you that this segment is not about almost upset. It's about an underdog that will cover.
Well, why don't you just say that?
Well,
because
that doesn't
it's
have
more
the
fun.
same ring to it.
Do you think?
What's your underdog that will cover this week?
Okay,
Joy,
okay. Who's your
I
underdog?
like the upset.
I think
like
Iowa.
Upset pick.
You want just a flat upset pick?
Whatever you planned upset. Whatever we
I know you can't
It
pick.
wasn't almost upset.
All right.
It was like a large underdog that might get close. Watch out for Utah State. Like I said, that NFL quarterback going to LSU. LSU's defense is not what it has been.
All right.
You never know in a game like that. Watch out for Utah State.
All right, good seeing you. Thanks for getting us on that California pay for play thing.
You bet.
You did a good job on that. You didn't get out in the weeds. You're very professional.
I thank you, Colin. This is awkward.
It is weird when you guys agree.
I agree.
You were
Joy.
good this week. That was fine. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.